Tom Waddle calls it the Tom Brady scorched earth tour.
I think
that's pretty accurate.
I think Dante Stallworth said it's the Red Wedding tour for Game of Thrones fans. Pretty good.
That's Dante Stallworth is a Thrones fan. I see.
He's a big Thrones fan.
I like it. Is he a cool enough Game of Thrones fan to call it just Thrones though? Like I just did.
No, he's not that cool.
Winner in the
Not
studio.
as cool as
Brady, 22 of 33, 315 yards, 4 passing touchdowns. LeGarrette Blount ran one in. 41-25, and it wasn't that close. Right. Patriots took their foot off the gas in the fourth quarter. Do you think, internally, the Patriots had this one circled? Remember, this is their only loss, right? The Bills beat them back in Foxborough earlier in the season. No Tom Brady. They had to have this one circled, right?
Well, I'd imagine, yes. I mean, the Patriots were embarrassed in highest form when they played the Bills back in Week 4. It was 16-0, but it felt a lot more disparate than that. And, that was the week leading up to Tom Brady's return, as we all know. And obviously, when Tom Brady returned, it didn't matter if the Patriots had won by 1,000 points the week before or lost by 16 points in a shutout. Everybody knows that was the story of the week. And yet you could not get a peep out of a Patriots player that week because Bill Belichick was constantly reminding them, I don't care who's coming back this week. We just got our tails handed to us against the Bills in Week 4. Everything needs to be better. Things were certainly much, much better for the Patriots today.
And I think that the Patriots recognize when Rex Ryan is on the other side of the field. It's annoying because he's needled Bill Belichick deliberately over the years. And, Belichick and the Patriots have a huge lifetime lead. I think it's 111 out of 16 games against Rex Ryan coach teams. And yet at the same time, I don't think it feels any less of a big deal to them to beat him. And you'd never have Belichick talk about this out loud, but you can tell by the way that they play that they really do like beating Rex Ryan and making him shut up. And that's a big part of the game.
It is. It's a huge part. Even though Rex Ryan was on his best behavior this week as well. Somebody
nice
asked him,
try.
Well, yeah, maybe too little, maybe too little, too late. But wasn't it there was a question, hey, Rex, have you ever seen a quarterback playing this well at this age for Tom Brady? And he said, you can just stop it at playing this well. I've never seen a quarterback playing this well. But you're right. It's a little too late to call off the the series of murders at the wedding, maybe to keep the Game of Thrones talk going.
It's worth noting, though, that Tom Brady did hit wide receivers in the end zone this week, which I think is the first for him since he's been back. He's been really good at getting tight ends their touchdowns.
And James White.
Yes.
Okay.
But he hasn't necessarily. I think this was Edelman and Amendola this week, or Hogan. I'm sorry, Chris Hogan got one, which was
Amendola got one as well. All three of them got one today.
Yeah. So
big day for the Patriots wide receivers who had one, not a misspeak, one combined catch in that loss to the Bills. Just one by the Patriots wide receivers. They had 3 touchdown catches today. Incredible. They had to get much more from that group.
I mean, to be fair, though, you had Jacoby Brissett playing with 3 fingers on his throwing hand. I mean, he third-string quarterback down a couple of digits. It's going to be kind of tough to win a division game. I do want to point out in this one, Rob Gronkowski, 5 grabs, 109 yards, did have a receiving touchdown. That gives him 69 total touchdowns for his career as a member of the New England Patriots.
Hey, what's his number?
87.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you think he's going to get there? I think he'll get there. I think health is the only thing that's going to limit him, right? I mean, and frankly, it has in his career to this point. It's remarkable and kind of weird to think, like, where would he be if he'd played 16 games his entire career, 16 games a season?
He is already in the conversation, but he is well on his way to becoming the greatest tight end in NFL history. I mean, that's the kind of – he is in the class – he's going to be in the class by the time he's finished with Tony Gonzalez. I mean, the numbers bear it out. And what he's been able to do, he's only 26 years old. Yeah. He's under contract with the Patriots through 2020. They obviously don't want him going anywhere. We have never seen a player like him at the position. He is just truly and utterly unique.
It is a question, though, I think, because he is so much targeted by opposing defenses, whether or not he's going to be able to remain upright for as long as it would take to get the numbers that he would need to kind of cement his status. I agree with you. Yeah. I think that he's probably, but he's got, his wrists, his forearm.
and told Mike that he, Kidd, would be buying him a ticket for Game 5 at Wrigley Field tomorrow night. That's Jason Kidd. We are underway. Game 2. The officiating crew, Mike Callahan, Brett Nansel, and James Williams.
Jim Tony Snell on the floor, and of course people have been waiting, at least people around the organization, for him to get healthy with that bad ankle, to see him in the ball game for this team and give him that length and that length at the basket.
That's how we start tonight with Antetokounmpo. He saw room and took advantage of it.
Now remember, you play this team, you have to play extended defense. You have to cover the three-point range because they will load them up all over the place. This is Giannis. Watch, look at the ball movement, and then Giannis again cutting off the ball for the dunk. We talked about that in our open. Had a shot of him cutting off the ball. He doesn't always need the ball. That's going to make him even better.
The key tonight may be whether the other Bucks bring that kind of energy.
Well, Jim, I would say they will. I would say they better. I would say they've had footprints from coaches up their backs since that loss the other night in the open.
Tony Snell committed his first foul as a Buck, putting Bogdanovich on the line. Dellavedova against Lynn. What a matchup that will be tonight.
Well, Lynn is still just a great story, isn't he?
Dellavedova off the glass. Plumlee setting the screen to free him up.
See, that's just a little brush screen, but you get the defender trailing. Now the shooter has an opportunity, in this case, Delly.
Good defense as Plumlee shows out on Lynn. Bogdanovich for three. This team has taken 77 threes in their first 2 games, hitting 25. The Brooklyn Nets will try to get out and put up the long ball.
You're going to see more out of Jabari tonight, too. He was not assertive enough in game 1. He knows it. He wants to bring it. But look at the three-point. It's very hard to play a team on transition all the way at every position for the three.
They closed it down the stretch, 96-89.
Yeah, I think they really needed that ball game against the Lakers. They played very, very well, and you see that they just got better and better as the ball game went on, even though the Lakers is playing one of their better in quite some time. Very young team, but the Jazz was ready for them.
Let's check the lineups this afternoon, presented by Zions Bank. At Zions Bank, we haven't forgotten who keeps us in business. George Hill, who's had a terrific start for Utah in his first 2 games, averaging 21 points, will team up with Rodney Hood up front, Joe Johnson, Boris Diaw, and Rudy Gobert. Derek Favors will come off the bench. His minutes are still limited. And for the Clippers, you know them well. Backcourt of Paul and Redick, Baamute, Blake Griffin, and DeAndre Jordan, the front line for the LA Clippers. And a happy birthday to Quinn Snyder, the head coach of Utah, 50 years young today, a record of 79 and 87. His counterpart just across the court is Doc Rivers in his 4th season and a record of 167 and 80. There's Doc. How strange, coaching your son, Austin Rivers, who just signed an off-season deal with a pretty good amount of money.
Got to take care of your kids. Come on now. But, you know, he is an NBA player, that's for sure. Had a great year, a couple of years there at Duke. And
there's George Hill out of IUPUI in his 3rd game in a Jazz uniform. 35 minutes against the Lakers Friday night. 23 points, 3 assists. And Boone, what's amazing, in 2 games, just 2 turnovers.
Yeah, he really takes care of the basketball, and that is so key. Why is that such important? Because those are shot attempts. Those are possessions that you give away when you have a turnover, and he's done a great job of that, you know, throughout his career.
Chris Paul, 12th year out of Wake Forest. A lot of big names on the floor. Everyone standing at Staples Center. And we're just about set for Game 3 for the Utah Jazz. Jordan will jump against Gobert. Jordan at 6'11", Rudy stands 7'1". LA wins the tip. Here we go. Mark Davis, Brent Barnacky, and Scott Twardarski, the 3 officials here at Staples Center. Clippers have won 15 of the last 16 against Utah. Extremely well. Picks off the first for Utah. And Boo, the Jazz have really, the first two games, gotten off to nice starts in the opening quarter. Little hook shot by Gobert. Disrupted by DeAndre Jordan.
You know, that's great position there in Rudy. Hope he continues to get that type of position. He can score over Jordan no matter how close, how far away he is to the basket.
There he is down low. Put it up off the rim. Took it in. No. And the ball comes loose to Hood. Two good looks down low by Jordan.
How about that? Both players, centers anyway, starting very close to the basket.
He's #1 all-time in the NBA in career field goal percentage, 67%. And Jordan throws it away.
He was 70% last year. That's almost unreal. And you start looking back at the history of this game. Wilt Chamberlain probably the only one that compares to that.
Through the hands of Redick. The Jazz 0 for 2 start. Clippers 0 for 3. Here's JJ down the baseline on a kick out. Here's Paul. Wide open 3. Chris Paul had 27 in the opener up at Portland. But Booner, I know it's early, but the Clippers struggled with that 3 ball, 8 of 29 against the Blazers. And Utah started the season out 14 of 49 at 29%.
You know J.J. Redick's going to get going there. I mean, he had 203-point field goals made last year. So I don't think they're worried about their 3-point game. They know that Redick will definitely get his game going.
Forrest tried to force that pass inside and a turnover, but Utah luckily will get it right back as the ball is off Griffin.
You know, we talked about Blake Griffin's, the way his game. I mean, what he adds to this team. He just brought the ball up the floor and tried to get all the way to the basket. Complete player.
Here's Hill outside for 3. What a soft touch. Play. With a lot of confidence in his 3rd game.
I think we asked about his 3-point shooting there as well. Get this first one here tonight. Afternoon.
Hill now 4 of 14 from downtown. During this early part of the season, Chris Paul directing, lobs it to Blake. You've got a mismatch with Hill. Bodies him up. And we got a push and shove match right at the free throw line. And Hill will whistle for the foul.
You watch, he just steps right behind. Nice screen set. Nice double screen, as a matter of fact, by Boris Diaw and one by Rudy. Gave Hill plenty of time to all-star appearances. And, you know, that injury last year kind of set him back. Well, injuries and suspension.
Yeah,
you know,
injuries and suspensions, yeah. 41 games in all. He missed half the season. He's expecting big things from himself and this team. And Blake Griffin, 2 quick buckets in the opening quarter. Timeout, Quinn Snyder. Good timeout. Slow it down. L.A. crowd's alive. Home opener for the Clips. And we played just over 3 minutes. And Big Lake, who averages 25 and 10 career against Utah, off to a quick start with 2 buckets. Well, that's a look at Malibu. Beautiful part of California. It did sprinkle on the coast earlier this morning. Jazz trailing LA by a 7-3 count. Let's get to the injury report. It's brought to you by University of Utah Healthcare, the official medical provider for the Utah Jazz and you. Gordon Hayward again out today. Broken left ring finger in practice back October 7th. Making progress. Alec Burks also rehabbing. He played the 3 of the final 4 games. I guess some knee issues scoped in midsummer. Still on the rebound from that, and hopefully back soon along with Gordon Hayward.
You know, Jazz could really use these guys now, but the important thing is to make sure they're healthy. I mean, when they're back, that makes the Jazz bench as deep as any team anyway in the NBA.
Rudy, one-on-one with Jordan. Here's Johnson, draws a double team in the corner. 7 on the shot clock. Johnson, the old pro, on a fallback jumper. Oh, baby, beautiful shot.
Boy, such patience. Tremendous amount of patience.
Joe Johnson's 2-game totals, he's averaging 20.
You can see he's more of a rhythm player off the dribble. Sets the man up sets the defender up nicely and gets his jump shot off.
Joe Johnson, there he is, 7-time All-Star out of Arkansas in his 16th season. He had 11 points against the Lakers Friday night, 9 in the second half. He seems to be a second-half guy so far for the Jazz. Griffin takes on Rudy. Down he goes in a foul. Gobert will pick up his first and a second team foul of the quarter.
You see Rudy goes over and challenges the shot. He thinks his arms are straight up in the air. The official gave the impression he caught him in the forehead with the left hand. Nicely. Yeah, good call there by the official. You see the left arm does come down and catches Blake on the forehead.
Griffin makes the first of 2, a 5-point quarter. And as I mentioned, 18 career games, Ron, against the Jazz. Nearly 25 points, 10 rebounds, 60% field goal percentage. It's the most points versus any opponent for Blake Griffin. And a footnote, you remember maybe November 25th last year? He dropped 40 on the Jazz.
40, I think he had a tremendous shooting night there, 18 to 23, doing the rebounding. That's the only game he played, and there's Rudy giving an offensive rebound.
Fouled. DeAndre Jordan picks up his first.
Rudy's been very good on the boards this year. He just gets hit, is not able to finish there. But Rudy's rebounding has just been so good.
Well, his free
10
throws.
offensive rebounds. He's been averaging 5 offensive rebounds a game.
And Booner, his free throws have been promising. He's at 75% on the year. He makes the first.
He would love to keep it there. I know that's one of his goals, is to be over 70%. He works very, very hard in practice. His release is really nice. It's nice and soft. Shooting sometimes it just goes offline.
And shooting with confidence, I think, is the key. He's now hit 11 of his first 14 to start this season. 2-point game. Clippers up with the ball. J.J. Redick turns the corner. All is a 3-point threat. They feed Blake Griffin inside. Good job. Joe Johnson and Gobert. They double him down on the baseline. Johnson just hit a jumper from that spot. 12 on the shot. Jazz spread the floor. Over the top to Gobert. And he traveled.
He was looking. You saw he caught the basketball. You see he's pointing down in the corner now because he caught the basketball, and he was expecting Rodney Hood to be deep in the corner on the left side. And he was just going to make an automatic pass. Rodney Hood wasn't there.
Out of bounds off Jordan, so back and forth we go. Turnovers even at 2 apiece. Make that 3-2 L.A.
Well, right now the Jazz are doing a pretty good job, especially Hill. They had 28 turnovers coming into tonight's game. That's only 14 a game.
Here's Rodney on a stop and pop. Good look. Rebound Blake Griffin. 9-7 L.A. Chris Paul on the wing for 3. It's loose and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Gobert.
Watch the matchup here down in the paint with Jordan and Rudy. I mean, 7-footer and, well, 2 7-footers really. 6'11". Both can play up above the rim, and they're very concerned with either rebound. You know, Jordan's game is all around the basket. He does nothing away from the basket other than set screens and rolls to the hole.
You know, it may be the key matchup of the day. We talk about Blake and we talk about Chris Paul, but Gobert, can he handle DeAndre Jordan, who is so tough down low?
Yeah, he just has to play the same way. I mean, Rudy's very a force down there as well, of getting offensive rebounds and finishing above the rim. Plus, Rudy's a better free throw shooter. So the got lost.
Inbound pass, wide open is Blake Griffin.
Click the button to get
quarter. 11-7. 8 of those 11 points from Blake Griffin. Chris Paul with the other 3 ball. There's Diaw. Looks down for a cutter. He's got Gobert on the block, on the high post, that is. Here's Hood. 5 on the shot. Takes a 3. Knuckleball shot. Bang. Got it.
That's $50 to the Huntsman Cancer Research Foundation, courtesy of Mountain America. And learn more about Mountain America's community involvement at macu.com.
Jazz 2 of 3 from down. Jordan spins in. Misses the shot, but Gobert will pick up foul number 2.
27, Rudy Gobert. That's his second personal. Third team foul charge to the Jazz. DeAndre Jordan to the line. 2 minutes.
And you see, Rudy wanted to make sure the official knew he throws that elbow into his face. Boy, it wasn't much contact except for the elbow into the jaw.
2 on Rudy. Derek Favors at the scorer's table, and we'll check in after the free throw.
And the difference with Derek playing the center position, now you get some post-up play. You get some inside play with the back to the basket. Both players have been working on passing the basketball.
Jordan, not a good free throw shooter. Now 2 of his first 11. D. Faves on the floor against the Lakers. 20 minutes. Strong minutes, emotional minutes. 15 points, 9 boards, and not to mention a couple of blocked shots.
Yeah, Faves got off to a very good start. I think he got a little tired there, and winded, because, Gordon can rehab. I mean, he can run. He can keep the heart rate up and stay in some type of conditioning. But with the knee injury there, Favors, I mean, a lot of that stuff you can't do.
Johnson, soft touch, got it. Split leg jumper. That's 2 buckets here for Joe in quarter number 1. Wide open. Ba'amute just got his first shot away loose, got the rebound back. Clears it away, stolen by Johnson. Utah runs with Hood and Joe. Diaw follows. Joe Johnson takes the wide open look and buries the 3.
Transition threes. We were wondering if the Jazz were going to be able to average 25 threes a game, 3-point shot attempts a game. I think it's going to be easy for them.
Jazz enjoying a 10-3 run. Ba'amute, hook shot short, off to the right side, picked up by George Hill. Well, the good news is, Corner, the Jazz have hit 3 of their first 4 from downtown. Favors down low, hook shot. Oh, just missed it. Maybe took his eye off the rim to take a look at Jordan.
Well, he looked over his left shoulder and saw Blake coming, and pump fake let him go by, and then I agree with you. He definitely had a shot on Jordan.
Foul on Joe Johnson, his first.
And defense is always going to be the key here. And this transition 3, this is something the Jazz should get a lot of, especially with Johnson. You'll see he'll do a lot of it there as well. And I think that's why they're going to be able to average about 25 3-point shots a game. Something, a 3-point shot attempts per game as a whole for the league is going to be higher than that. But I think 325 is a very good number for the Jazz.
A foul given to Favors his first. So the bigs are battling. Gobert already on the bench with 2 early fouls. Around the rim and out. 1 for 2 for Luke Ba'amute out of UCLA. Jazz with the ball up by a bucket. Just past the 5-minute mark. First and 2 on the road for the Jazz. Will be in San Antonio. Put it on Tuesday. There's a little wiggle. Give it up to Hill. Nice Head fake, floater, caught the rim, drops it in for two. And a timeout, Doc Rivers. Nice move by George Hill.
And what does that mean? Know when to challenge and when not to challenge. He challenged the big guys in against the LA Lakers the other night. This time he pulls up, little runner, gets it done.
Joe Johnson was 7, and George Hill, who's come off 23 against the Lakers, already with 5 in the quarter, gets the bounce of the Jazz, lead by 4.
The Clipper Spirit.
Jazz up by 4 here, 17-13 against the Clippers. And Derek Favors, big news. He is still playing limited minutes, but when I did talk to him, he said he's feeling awesome. He's feeling so good. He's itching to get more minutes, definitely. And after his performance against the Lakers, I said, is there anything bothering you? Did you feel anything in your knee at that point? He said, absolutely not. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great mentally, and I am ready to get more minutes. And guys, Quinn actually made a good point about Derek Favors. He said he's a quiet soul who plays with a lot of emotion, and they need to see that more.
Yeah, nice thought, Kristen. And we saw the emotion. George Hill's brought it out of him. Ron here early, one of his new teammates, and Favors seems to have reacted nicely to George Hill running the show.
Well, he definitely needed to get healthy, wanted to get healthy, because this time of year, guys are just itching to get out there on the floor.
Blake Griffin, 1-2. Yeah, the save. Clippers started 3 of the first 6, now 1 of their last 7. And it's a total
Download a D.
8. Dante Exum on the floor now for Quinn Snyder.
What does that three-point shot do? Yeah, that's been the difference so far in this first quarter. Clippers with 1, that was by Chris Paul. The Jazz have 3. Hood, Hill, and Johnson.
Raymond Felton will check in for the first time out of North Carolina.
He's been listening to Doc Rivers before the ball game in the little press room that he has before the ball game. He talked about rotation. So he wants teams to have to rotate to them.
Nice dish from Diaw to D. Faves. And yes, the Clippers were busy. Free agents, Brandon Bass, Raymond Felton, and Maurice Spates. They re-signed Jamal Crawford, $42 million. Ba'amute, $4.5, and then Austin Rivers got a nice deal. 3 years for $35.5.
Let me get my calculator and add up all those millions. But they think they've strengthened this team. Now, in the first basketball game, 77% as far as the plus-minus category off the bench, and the starters was a minus 37. So they think this bench is stronger, and they're going to get more out of it. I'll just have to wait and see. I just don't see in the long term of that being something that they can hang their hat on.
You know, and Ron, I agree. I mean, obviously getting Jamal Crawford, a 3-time sixth-man in the NBA back, is big, but he's aging 17th year now out of Michigan. We know Spates, we'll see him. He'll shoot the ball and shoot it plenty.
Yeah.
Ball deflected by Johnson. 10 on the shot. Rivers. And now they feed Griffin. Felton wide open three. Bangs it off the rim. Jordan sky high. He can't find the shot, and it's off the rim. Jordan is now 0 for 4 from the. Turns it over. Hill chases after Crawford, swings it in. First bench point for the Clippers comes from Jamal Crawford.
And that's too bad. You can see the board. See, I was trying to throw that one-handed hook pass into Derek Favors, who had great position there on Jordan.
Dante Search dribble. All Favors had a layup, missed it through his legs, and is picked up by Hill to Diao. He'll toe it deep. Short. Utah shooting 40%, and the Clippers at 31 here in the first quarter. Dante tries to stay in front of Crawford. Before the shot, Mark Davis made the call out front. Dante the foul, his first.
You see, here's that steal there. You see, he wanted to throw that hook pass and just lost control of it. Gave it to Crawford. Crawford does what he does best. He shoots the basketball. And he's not, comes between two defenders and put it right off the glass.
Yeah, he's got a silky smooth shot, but he can finish. Always has.
He has just been such an explosive player. You know, most improved, most three-point shots. You know, I think he's 7th in the league at that. He's had one career that's just been off the charts. Most of it coming off the bench as a player. You know, he had 1,933 threes coming into this season.
How many?
And he still trails Ray Allen. Ray Allen had 29, has 29,000, you know, so. $2,900, I say. Crawford 29,000.
That's a lot.
2,900.
Crawford cuts it to a one-point ball game. He has not missed a free throw so far this season. He is 10 for 10. Low block phase against Griffin. Bangs down low, 7 on the shot, turned, about a 10-foot jump shot, and Blake's going to be whistled for the foul.
Foul charge number 32, Blake.
You don't expect 90% free throw shooters to miss, do you? That's what Crawford was last year.
Right.
This is what Favors at that percentage position gives you that Rudy does not. And there's a little tap right on the forearm there as Favors fades away. So whenever Coach Quinn Snyder wants to put both of those guys out on the floor, he can get a little bit of everything. He can get a post up and get defense there as well.
Favors makes the first. Today's ticket package is a slam dunk, Ron. Get 4 tickets and 4 personal pizzas to see Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks. How about the price? Just $72. 325-2999 is the number. And yes, operators are standing by to take your call.
Veggie? All veggie? What do you think?
Meat lovers, take your pick, right? Favors 3 points, all from the free throw line. 2 minutes left. Jazz by 3 here in the opening quarter. Stolen by D-Faves. Gives it to Max. Force it back inside, and it's going to be off of L.A. Jazz lucky that time not to give it right back.
Well, I thought maybe this pass was going to go over the top there. Nice steal by Derek Favors. But I thought this pass right here was going to go up above the rim. But I guess you could see Blake Griffin coming. Figured it wasn't going to work.
We talked about Spates. He has checked in. Number 5 on his back for L.A. Dante is away and good. Ximo missed all of last year. 82 games with the ACL injury. He went 22 minutes up against the Lakers Friday night. 4 points, a couple of assists. He's starting to attack the rim more. This time he takes a jump shot. Spates. I don't know what his range is, honestly. I think it's any place on the floor from half court on.
Yeah, Spates, he does have a ring, though. Last 3 years, you can see 8 points and 46% from the field. He's only played 13 minutes a game during that stretch. But he gets his shots up, that's for sure.
Here's Trey Lyles, fresh off the bench, draws a double team. Wide open Joe. Deep 3. Kicks it off the back of the rim. Austin Rivers, front court. Lyles chases. Spates passed that ball away. It's short, and the rebound to Joe Johnson. Under a minute to go. Utah 22, the Clippers 17. Max Down low. Nice first move on the baseline. Lost it. Saves it. No. He is out of bounds.
And you see Derek Favors, he had set up, I mean, for that little 8-footer, but it looked like space may have gotten in the way to the point where Mack could not get him the basketball. Instead of rolling to the basket, Favors wanted the 8-footer.
4 turnovers in the quarter. 5 for the Clippers. 22-17. Utah. Rivers backs out. Dante comes out to face Crawford. Kicks it off the glass. He's so good at that. Great patience and tempo. Four seconds between shot and game clock here in the quarter.
Watch the patience he showed. Well, the quick foul, but he was just show patience there. Maybe back Felton ends about 10 feet, just shoot right over the top of him. Instead, gets an early foul.
Felton reached in to stop the flow. His first, 9.9 to play.
That's what Coach Snyder does quite a bit. I mean, he'll create a mismatch, especially now, be able to put the ball in.
Nice dish. Inside. Favors like to have that ball back. Mack delivered it beautifully, but he overthrew the top of the rim. And the Jazz battle to a 3-point lead after 12 minutes. Joe Johnson with a 7-point first quarter. George Hill threw in 5. Blake Griffin led the Clippers with 8. And Jamal Crawford 6 off the bench. 22-19 Utah.
And now, fans, here comes a brand new surprise for opening day presented by Agua Caliente Casino Resorts. Direct your attention to center court just to see what it is.